All right, today we're going to talk about some super important real estate information for May of 2021. If you're looking at it going, wait a minute, it's June. Why is he talking about now? Because we were on vacation for a couple of weeks down in St. Thomas. So we're running a little late getting the May real estate information out to you. If you're also wondering why am I wearing a cowboy hat and sunglasses, it's because the algorithm shows me, or the whatever they call that, the analytics shows that 3 times more of you will watch this if I am dressed in this cowboy hat and sunglasses. So I must look better with more of my face covered or something like that. So here we go. Let's talk about it. By the way, if you don't know who we are, I'm Jim and Stacy Lambright. Stacy's not here. She's taking a Lupian nap in the middle of the day. And what we've been doing real estate in Central House is 1997. So we'd love for people to stay current and up to date. We believe keeping current matters, staying up to date in real estate information. So let's talk about the stuff that's on everybody's mind, right? So what is going on, man? What is the main driver of the housing shortfall? Well, it's just basically it has been the long-term decline in the construction of single family homes. That's right. We have not been building enough homes. I'm going to show you some graphs here in a second. That decline has resulted in the decrease in supply of entry-level single-family homes, or what we call starter homes. That's Sam Cater, the vice president, chief economist at Freddie Mac. Dude knows what he's talking about. Here's going to be the slides you're going to be able to check out and see what I'm talking about. Check this out. These are by decade. If you look in the 70s, right, we did 11 million. If you look in the 80s, we did 10 million. If you look in the 90s, we did almost 11 million. Over 12.5 million in early 2000s. Look what happened in the 2010s. 6.5 million homes being built, less than half of everything else out there. Not enough houses, and we got a lot of new people. We keep making people. It just keeps happening. More and more keep being born, and so we need more and more houses. So here's what's on everybody's mind. How do we know it's on your mind? Because Google says so. Almighty Google. Google reported last week that the search question, when is the housing market going to crash, it spiked 2,450% in the past month. Everybody's asking me. I got back from a networking group today where the cowboy made an appearance. When is the housing market going to crash? It's a bubble. We're going to crash. It's coming. No, it's not. Oh, sorry. Spoiler alert. No, it's not. Let me repeat it again. We are not in a bubble. This is not 2008. It is not. It is completely different economic conditions. It's because we haven't been building enough homes, and because we got all these millennials, 94 million of them, by the way. By the way, did you know baby boomers, there was 72 million of them? Do you know there's 94 million millennials, and all of them are getting to be in their 30s, and they're all becoming home buying age, and guess what? There's not enough houses, and so that's what's driving it. So here's what we've got going on. You're going to see some stuff in the news talking about year over year change in listings. Now, don't let this thing get you twisted here, where you see a 40% spike in new listings. Oh my gosh, that means there must be a ton of new houses coming out. No, there's still a shortage. It's getting a little better, but there's still a shortage. Here's what's going on. The total listings is what you want to look at. New listings, of course. We have a ton of new listings coming in because why? What was happening before? Lockdown. Tons of people, tons of states. Every state's different. Every locale is different, but tons of states on lockdown for the dreaded what? The dreaded virus, right? The mask. Oh, the mask. I don't ever want to wear one of those things ever again. But you know what? It's gone. The mask mandates are over here in Ohio, and things are taking off. So people are listing their homes. They're ready to go. Look at this spike in April coming up. Lots of new homes coming on the market. So for those of you who are buyers, you're a little bit frustrated, like, man, I can't find anything. Don't worry. There's a bunch more coming. Stacey and I are taking listings left and right, and we're super excited about it. And there's going to be tons of homes available for you to buy. Okay. So inventory levels, take a look at this. If you look at inventory levels in 2020, you know, it was basically what you're looking at for single family homes. You were looking at somewhere between 1.2 and 1.3 million in 2020. Look at 2021. Youch! Less than 900,000. So it's quite the drop, right? So demand remains strong as home buyers are snatching listings quickly off the MLS. And when we say quickly, boy, we mean quickly. Some people are buying them sight unseen. And it takes approximately 18 days for a home to go from listing to a contract in the current housing market. A year ago, it took 29 days. Boy, that is fast, 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 fast. So when will the U.S. housing inventory grow again? Well, we're working on it, but if you talk to economists, they got a lot of different opinions. Everybody's got a different opinion on when that's going to be, but it seems to be the consensus is the second half of 2021. We're going to see inventory start to grow. And we have seen it a little bit here in Central Ohio. I mean, look, these numbers and graphs I'm going to show you here are all national numbers, but here locally in Central Ohio, there's, this will sound crazy, a few hundred extra homes than there were before. So it is starting to grow a little bit. We're starting to get some, but it isn't going to be anything like those bubble years, right? Everybody who's worried about the bubble. Let me tell you a little history lesson. In August of 2008, we had 28,000 homes available for sale here in Central Ohio. 28,000, okay? We just looked it up yesterday. It was 650. That's it, to give you an idea. So that was the problem with the bubble. There was too much supply. What we have right now with the numbers going up is there's not enough supply, okay? And it's going to continue that way for a while as we have not enough building going on and more people becoming home buying age. Those millennials, man, they're coming in, they're driving up the housing market, which is good if you're an owner. You want it to keep going up, right? Which is cool. Some people think first half of 2022, but most people agree it's going to be the second half of 2021. That's good news. That is this year. Let's get it on. That's what I say. All right. So the top 5 reasons homeowners plan to sell this year is, and this came from realtor.com, a survey that was out there, but our home no longer meets our needs. What's it mean no longer meets our needs? Well, a lot of people who were trapped with lockdown realized we need an office. We need an office. We need a place to put the kids. If we have to homeschool them again, or if I got to work from home, I need an office. So a lot of people are looking for an office, or at least a home with maybe a 4th or 5th bedroom that they can turn into an office, right? A lot of people are saying we can make profit in the current market. And baby, we're talking, they absolutely can make profit right now. And I'm going to show you a graph here in a little bit on how much people are making on average. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. And some people say we want a smaller house for less work. Some people are downsizing. We want to live closer to friends and family. One thing that we were taught in this pandemic is that relationships are everything. They're everything. Being closer to friends and family is really helpful. Building a community, having people you can rely on. You know, we had some crazy stuff happen in Texas, right? It's funny I'm saying Texas. I had them, but you know, the big deep freeze they had where people had to come together as a community and rely on each other, right, in the middle of a crisis. So it's important to be close to people you care about with family and friends. And some people want different features and amenities. A lot of the stuff we're seeing, people saying, you know, hey, I want some extra space. I want to be able to spread out. So if we go on a lockdown again, you know, if the government did it once, boy, we all know they would not hesitate in doing it again. They want more space in their house. The biggest feature we're hearing people want, they want to study. They want an office that they have, okay? So let's talk about here prospective home buyers planning to buy a home in the next 12 months, okay? So let's see what we've got. 16% of American adults are considering the purchase of a home in the next 12 months. And that was in the Housing Reports report for Q1 of 21. That's 6 points higher than 10% with similar plans that were a year earlier. So see the different quarters that you have right here. Look at that, 16% in Q1 of 2021. That's a big, big number. Look at the average profit. Oh, this was great. Q1 of 2020, the average profit for a seller was almost $56,000. That's pretty amazing, right? Q1 for 2021, 70 grand. This is an average across the country. The big number is not the fact that it's 70,000, it's the fact that it's 16,000 more on average than it was a year ago. That's great. If you're thinking about that, that means if you were a homeowner last year and you wait till this year, it was like a built-in savings plan of 16 grand on average. 16 grand. How many people save, you know, $1,250 a month, right? Not very many people that are just putting that away in savings just to have that sitting around. That's what your home is. Your home is a built-in savings account. Pretty amazing. Again, Lawrence Yun, the chief economist at National Association of Realtors. This is not a bubble. Let me say it again. This is not a bubble. It is simply lack of supply. People are freaking out. People have no idea anything about real estate. They're out there talking out their asses. It is simply a lack of supply. It's not a bubble. It's completely different than 2008. Okay. So let's talk about something I've heard people talking about, which is forbearances. Okay. You see George Washington here. He's got his mask on, right? If you don't know what forbearance is, what they did, the government did, and the program actually worked pretty decently. We'll talk about that here in a second. But they let people, because it was not an economic crisis, it was a real economic crisis. It was a medical crisis, the virus, and they shut everything down on purpose, right? It wasn't like that there was no economic engine. It was there. They just had to turn it off, right? So what they did is they allowed people to not pay rent and to not pay their mortgage. We're going to talk about mortgages here. We're not going to talk about rent. But for mortgages, they told people, look, if you're in an economic hardship because of a shutdown, it's no fault of yours. You were laid off or they fired you or whatever the companies had to do for them to stay afloat. You're not going to have to pay your mortgage right now, right? It was like a 6-month mortgage, a 6-month forbearance granted automatically. And I think you can apply for like a year more or something like that, like a full year and a half, right? And so here's what happened. Boy, it spiked up almost 5 million people in May of 2020, 5 million people, nearly 5 million households that were not paying their mortgages, okay? That's a lot. Ooh, that's scary. That's a big number. And we were nervous about it because we're like, oh boy, are they going to start having foreclosures and stuff like that? And here's what started happening. You see it coming down here. Here's August, September, October, November. November, we were down to the just below the 3 million mark, from 4.8 million down to 3 million. So people started, as restrictions started coming off, people started going back to work, people started catching up on their mortgages. And I'll see in a graph here in a second. I'll show you exactly what happened with that. But it went down to 2, and now we're down at the 2.3 million mark as of April of people that are still in forbearance. But that is a big difference from up there in that 5 million mark that we were just a year ago. So that's great news as far as coming down to avoid financial disaster if all of those were going to turn into foreclosures. So just check this out. 400,000 mortgages left forbearance in just the last 2 months. In just the last 2 months. That is a monster number as people are getting back to work. Look, in Ohio, they finally lifted the stupid mask mandate and people are back to work. People are out shopping. Restaurants are open. Boy, it was great. It was a networking group today. Everybody was so happy. It was great. And seeing real live human beings being able to actually smile at people, it was nuts. Saw people's teeth. And what's happening is people are catching up with their mortgages because they're going back to work, right? So they're getting caught back up and they're getting going. And here's what it looks like, okay? So upon exit from the forbearance plan, this is the terrifying part when we heard about these in the beginning, was what's going to happen? Like, if these people aren't paying their mortgages, are they going to be financially fit enough to catch the mortgage up when it comes back? Because I mean, let's think if you hadn't paid your mortgage in a year and you went out and just spent that money, right? Let's say it's $2,000 a month, and now all of a sudden after a year, you owe 12 months of $2,000, it's 24 grand, and you didn't save that money and put it away. That could be real bad, right? Well, here's the numbers. It's actually way better than what I expected. People must be a lot better with money than me or something. But 47.3 of the forbearances, when they come back, we're paying up in full. They were catching up in full. These are very responsible financial people. They took the forbearance, but they held on to the money that they normally would have paid their mortgage company. And they just held on to it to see what was going to happen. I'm sure if there had been like a major crisis or whatever, they probably would have used that money. But things weren't as bad as what everybody was saying it was going to be. And when they came back, they paid in full. That's nearly half. Well done, people like that. 36.5 worked out a repayment plan. Bank said, look, we don't want it back. We know you're in a hard spot. Let's figure out a repayment plan. And by the way, if any of you out there in a forbearance or have family members in forbearance need some help, get a hold of Stacy and I. We'll help you get set back up and get a plan worked out with the bank. You don't need to foreclose or short sale. Most of these banks will take and work something out with you, right? Like maybe add some extra on each month to payment, or lump it all at the end and just have you start off, drive a stake in the ground, start off with where you're at. All kinds of stuff we can work out, but they don't want your house. They don't want to go back to 2008. That was awful. It's in fact, I just wet myself a little bit even saying that year. It was terrible. So 16.2% are still in trouble. They haven't figured anything out. They got their heads stuck in the sand. They're doing nothing. Those are the people we're looking for to talk to. Say, look, there is solutions for you. You don't have to do anything nuts. 1.6% had to do short sales in deed and lose. So let's just talk about that a little bit. So Stacey and I do short sales. We did a bunch of them. We started doing them back in 06 before they were a thing really in 08. I think we were probably one of the first agents doing them here in Columbus. In fact, I remember our broker who we were with back then, who shall remain nameless, said that's impossible. You cannot sell someone's house when they're upside down in it and get the bank to forgive the debt. That's impossible. They're going to go bankrupt. They're going to get sued, blah, 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 blah. Womp, 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 womp. They were wrong. Broker was wrong. We were right. And we did them for 2 years before anybody else would do. In fact, a lot of title companies didn't want to do it with us. Thank you, World Class Title, very much for participating with us on that. And that's why we owe you a ton of loyalty, when a lot of title companies wouldn't help us out with those back in the day. But these 1.6% of people that are in trouble, look, something happened during the virus. They got really sick. Someone died. Someone got a divorce. They lost their job, right? There's just bad things that happen sometimes, right? That are out of your control. Those people, we can help them sell their house. Maybe they're upside down in it. You know, as few of them that are, and we can get the debt forgiven on them so that they don't have to pay the bank back. In fact, on those short sale deals, they don't even have to pay real estate commission. We negotiate our fee in with the bank, and the bank gladly pays it for us to facilitate the transaction. We sell the house just like we normally would, and they're not stuck holding the bag with, you know, and 30, 40, 50, 100 grand. It works. It's a win-win-win for everybody involved. The buyers get a great deal. The banks don't have to foreclose. They don't have to involve all the lawyers and things like that. And it is a lot better program. But short sale does not mean quick sale. And you'll have to look up some of our other videos on that, but it means we are shorting the bank money. That's why it's called a short sale. We're short. Hey, we're short, sorry. And we figure that out, and we can get that done. Okay, so a lot more people are going to be coming off of forbearance here over the next few months. Stacey and I specifically will be watching these numbers like a hawk to make sure that we don't have any problems that are going to be coming. And we would advise you, our clients, just watch our stuff, stay in touch with us on our Lambright team at eXp Realty page that we have, and also our Facebook profile pages and our LinkedIn and stuff like that. Anyways, the people that are leaving, ton of them are catching up in full. And then you can see the numbers. There's been a little uptick of about 4% have been working on a plan, and been staying real steady here. This bottom number is the one we're worried about, the ones that are in trouble. That 15 to 16%, that's not too bad. We're seeing that. It's been hanging in since January. So we're good with that. We start seeing that push up to that 20% mark, stuff like that. We'll be letting you know, and keeping our eye on that where it comes in. So Rick Sharga said, he goes, I think the math speaks for itself about how well the forbearance program has worked. It's one of the few times in my career that I've seen a government-initiated program adopted as well and executed as well by the industry as this one. Well done, everybody in the industry, everybody who got the word out. Well done, banks working with homeowners. We do not want another real estate crash like in 08, 09, none of that. Let's work things out with the sellers, and everybody will get their money. Everybody's happy, and we just work it out. And for the few people that did undergo some type of catastrophic thing, we'll just short sale their place. Nobody ever has to foreclose, ever. There never has to be a foreclosure happen. You don't have to do that. People that give that advice out, I just want to slap them. You don't have to do it. You don't have to foreclose and end up having to go bankrupt because you're getting sued for the deficiency balance. We can help people do this. So just get a hold of us. And by the way, we do these short sales all across the country. We have a way to work with our EXP partners in the different markets they're in to get the house listed, and we help negotiate the sale on that and things like that. Anyways, okay, enough of the commercial, Jim. Move on. They got it. Just send them our way and hook us up, because they'll never call us. Usually they're very afraid, and creditors are chasing them and stuff like that. It's not a good time, and we can help make them feel better. So check this out. The Wall Street Journal said consumers were more upbeat about their income prospects last month, and many appear eager to spend. And oh yeah, they are. Survey found 8.9% of Americans plan to buy a home in the next 6 months, the biggest share in records going back to 1978. We're going back to the old days, back to the 70s. That's crazy. Why is that? A lot of it has to do with mortgage rates. Even though prices are going up, the payments are so freaking low. They're lower. Look, if you're a millennial out there, you're watching this, mortgage payments are less than your rent. I can almost promise you. They're less than your rent, and that's not even taking the tax consequences, the tax benefits of owning a home. And by the way, for all you realtors who are out there watching this, I am not giving tax advice nor legal advice. I'm not an attorney nor a tax person. We will have you talk to licensed people in those areas. We will only talk to you about real estate. So let's check this out, though, man. Look at the rates. I mean, the rates were incredible back in 2020. Look at them now. Below 3%. Are you kidding me? That's nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. It's free money. And we can show you the math on it and how that works and how your payments would be. Now, here is the day of reckoning news a little bit. Rates are going to be going up. Everybody's predicting it. Freddie, Fannie, Mortgage Bankers Association, National Association of Realtors all say rates are going to go up. Not a ton, but they are going to go up. You can't go much lower than 2.75%. There's just nowhere else to go down there for that. They have nowhere else to go up. So it's a pretty safe bet to say rates will go up this year and into 2022, but nothing crazy. Heck, my first house I bought was 8% interest rate. My parents were in the teens. Here we are still below 4 they're projecting. So there we go. Here's the interest rates. You can take a look at that. What the actual interest rates were in 2016. You can see where they went. 2018, they climbed. They dropped down in 2020. Of course, had to, right? Because of what was going on. Here we are in 2021, projecting it to go up in 2022. No problem on that. The home price forecast, look, what you're going to see is that we're going to have prices are going to go up. Mortgage Bankers Association thinks it's going to go up 10.3% is what you're going to see happen. The average is 6.8%. That is the forecast that's going to go on for 2021. So we're going to see prices continue to go up. No, we're not in a bubble there. I said it again. You heard me say it. It's very important that you understand that. Now, home sales forecasted to increase nicely in 2021 and do well in 2022. What do I mean by that? Well, if you take a look in 2020, it was a great real estate year. 2020, woo, we had a good year. 6.5 million homes sold that year. 2021, you've got Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and Mortgage Bankers Association all projecting 7 million or more. You talk to any real estate professional, if they take another year like 2020, they would all say, yep, give me some more of that. Well, 2021 is going to be even better. And 2022 is probably going to be also better than 2020. So the great couple years coming up for real estate. It's going to be awesome. If you're a new agent who's getting into the market, or if you've been in the market for a while, if you're an agent or somebody thinking about getting into real estate, now's the time. You want to go. It is go time with real estate. It's going to be great. Right? As far as what we're doing. By the way, our brokerage, we're looking for good agents. You guys are looking for that. We got some really cool stuff. Retirement, insurance plans, lead gen, coaching and training all included. Best split in the industry for people that are producers. We have a residual income program for referring other agents, for incredible type stuff. But check this out. We're going to wrap up with this. Miyamoto Musashi, he's a legendary Japanese swordsman and philosopher. He said this important quote. Perception is strong and sight is weak. Let me say that again. Perception is strong and sight is weak. See, in strategy, when you're strategizing, when you go buy a home or sell a home, it's a strategy. You sit down with a professional. I know a couple good ones right here. Let me shirt pop right here that you could talk to and develop a strategy. Even if you're not doing it today, it helps to talk so we develop a strategy so we know what we're going to do. But in strategy, it is important to see distant things as if they were close and to take a distanced view of close things. Now, the problem is when you're in your house, right, that's your close thing. You need another set of eyeballs and experience like us to give you a distance look. So you're not just all myopic there on your own little house you're talking about. We can talk about the market overall, and as well as all the experience we have with everybody else as far as what's going on. And distance things, when I'm talking about distance, like when you read something on the cover of the Wall Street Journal or the front page of the Wall Street Journal, don't forget real estate's very localized, very, very localized, like down to your street localized type stuff. And that's why you need a local professional to help you with that. And, I see a lot of mistakes happening right now with people selling their homes on their own for sale by owners. And of course, you're going to say, oh, he's a realtor. Of course, he's saying that because he's not getting paid. No, people are leaving money on the table. They could have literally hired us and we could have netted them more money. And we could show you that on how that works. And we have a great program to partner up with sellers on homes so that they can pay the least amount of fees, but maximize the most profit. It's all about how much profit do you make. Selling the home on your own will not net you the most profit. I can promise you that. That's just, it's a proven fact, and I can show you the numbers on it. We can get into that, but that's not what this video is about. But I just want to throw that in there because they're dealing with 3 of them right now for sale by owners that, boy, it can be a mess without agents involved. Okay. So something Stacy and I have here is a little benefit for you. Somewhere on this page, you're going to see a link, but our summer 2021 buyer and seller guides are available. They are available right now. You'll be able to download those and check them out to start that strategy process, to start working out. Look, even if you're not doing a house in 2021, buying or selling, I would definitely get a copy of these guides just so we can start strategizing for 2022 and beyond. It is never too early to start doing. I know some people say, oh, we're not buying until 2022. I'm like, we need to be talking now, like now. If you're in the market in 2022, if you're in the market now, we should have been talking last year, but that's all right. We can still get you going. Okay. Here, oh, by the way, all those stats I gave you and everything like that, you can hit me up for this. You're not gonna be able to click on these links because in the video, but I can send them to you. So you've got them, but everything is on that. So that is the update of what's going on for May of 2021. It's crazy to say May of 2021. I'll have the June report coming out here a little bit later. But Stacey, I wanted to say thank you to all of our family, friends for all the referrals and things like that to come in. Because of that, we're able to do incredible programs because of the amount of referrals that we get from people from doing this for so long. We're able to offer amazing programs that help put more money in sellers' pockets and also for buyers. We also run an incredible program called Homes for Heroes. We're super proud of that. As you know, I was a military vet for 12 years. And we believe in giving back to our local heroes. We're talking teachers, anybody in the medical field. We're talking anybody that are first responders, firefighters, law enforcement, military and their families. We have amazing discounts for you where we can give back to you and also contribute to a national charity called Homes for Heroes. And it's an amazing program. And because of all the referrals from everybody like you, if you made it here to the end, thank you for everybody you send to us. Don't forget, we also do the short sale program if people need that. We have a Love Your Home guarantee, all kinds of amazing programs. We'd love to help you out with that. If you need to refinance, get a hold of us. We got the right people for that. If you're looking for somebody to rehab your home, renovate your home, we've got all the connections on that. If you need to find out if you're paying the best on your energy rates, we've got that, and any of your other utility bills and things. Look, anything real estate, we know it all. And we can help you out with that because we're connected with everybody and we do it all the time. We'd love to help you out with making sure you get a hold of us. Just get a hold of us. Our stuff's on here somewhere, and you can connect with us and we'll be in touch. And fastest way to get a hold of us with our number is always text. And you can call if you want, but the message says, please text us. So anyways, it's just the way it is with life. Have a great one. We'll be talking to you soon.